Cute.
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 He's cute.
I'm cute. I'm cute now.
What's that do?
That's a checkpoint.
Checkpoint. So this game has quality of life features.
Yes, this is a brand new game. This is Mario Adventure 3, which sounds as bootleg as it is, but it's not shitty just because it's bootleg.
It's a
really
good. It's a good fake Mario game. So it seems to borrow elements from Mario 2 and 3.
Yeah, that's this stage in particular, I think, is like it's got like Subcon and Shy Guys and Ninjas and stuff.
And the ninjas throw ninja stars, which they've never done before. And everything breaks like a block.
Yeah, like the Shy Guys like do that. Fuck! But like, there was Mario Adventure and Mario Adventure 2, like years and years ago, and this just randomly dropped out of nowhere.
Recently?
Like the other day.
No way.
Yeah, I was shocked when I heard Mario Adventure 3 just out of nowhere.
Amazing.
It's like Mario Brothers 3 came out again.
Oh my god,
it's
back.
It's back. For the first time, like somebody's actually been developing this game
for
this
a while.
whole time. Like Super Mario Brothers 3, they're still working on it.
There's just more levels.
Yeah, it's just like more levels, more power-ups, more techniques. The kind of things you'd expect from a new Mario.
Does time go by? Is there a time
there's like a day and night cycle in this.
Amazing. And what does it change? Is it different monsters at night?
I have no idea. It just freaks me out every time it happens. I really don't expect it. Yeah.
And
there's a little bar on the bottom.
Do you know what this is developed in? Is it all secretive?
I don't know. I guess they probably have some like Mario making tool from a long time ago that they have at least were using to make the old ones, and maybe this one too.
This is just this is an exercise in pure level design.
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah, it's like Subcon from Mario 2, right? You see it?
Yes, absolutely. But it's like if there was a sleepy music in Mario 3, it would sound like that.
Yeah. That's the music that plays when you put the Hammer Bros to sleep.
Happy Thingus, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm Meredith, and this is Joe.
Yeah, welcome to Thingus.
Welcome to Thingus. We are currently playing Super Mario Adventure 3, which I'm shocked to hear is a brand new game. Because of Meredith's cam placement, I thought the text on the bottom said Family Guy Retro. It does look a little like that. Yes. Well, we'll get to that whenever we can. What do you think of the new apple cider spin drink?
This stuff is so good, and it has 20 calories in it, which is like 4 times more than usual.
Yes. So let's talk about that, because as good as this is, you know, this is the death toll, right? Like this is not getting better. Next year, Spindrift will have 100 calories. Our special cider that gave us a little sugar as a treat. They're rolling out the calories.
Well, was the other soda I had called like Bubbly or Poppy or Lolly.
That's just a straight up seltzer. That has no calories.
It's like it's like the one I had was like 50 calories or something.
Oh, that's like practically a full soda. That's like just a few calories, like 40 calories short of a full soda.
Yeah.
I don't need a full soda to taste bad. I'll just take full soda, please. No, there's one at the grocery store that's like I think it's the one you're talking about. Yeah. It's like what is it called? It's called like Popeye or something like that.
It's called like Lollipop?
Yeah, Lolly. Ollie
Ollie.
Pop.
Yeah, that's
right. It's got a little sugar and a little fake sugar, and half the calories of a regular soda.
It's it's kind of like didn't Coke do that? Like Coke half or Coke 50 or something?
Yeah, just no. I don't like it. I don't like 50.
No, you gotta commit.
Yeah,
you gotta really
commit.
drink Coke Classic or Diet Coke, I guess.
Just drink the real deal or drink Diet. Exactly. This is not alcoholic. It's just like a Spindrift, but they're making like a seasonal one, and it's really very delicious. But yeah, I know it spells doom for my favorite seltzer. It's not gonna be because I remember this shit with Honest Tea. What a joke to call yourself the Honest Tea Company when you start with not sweet at all. Then suddenly there's just a tad sweet. Then you can't find that one anymore. It's just sweet now. Honest Tea.
Yeah, the T stood for Tad. And where's the Tad?
Yeah, no. That Tad is laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah, Tad and his friends, Chad and Brad.
That's right.
And Todd.
That's right. They're all hanging out together. All the bros. You thought Tad was the nice one.
Tad was not the rad one.
No, he was the bad one.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like suddenly you're drinking it for the sugar again when you really were just trying to drink tea.
You were trying to break an addiction. It's like a cigarette that gets worse. Like it starts as a nicotine patch and suddenly you're smoking it. I think the model is you went by consuming less of something. It doesn't really work for us if you like completely break your addiction. You can't go in that direction with it. So you can either maintain a low level addiction, which is not really ideal for us, or you can increase your addiction, which is ideal for us.
Yeah, but don't stop being a customer entirely. That's when we go crazy and start doing the no sweet or just a tad sweet.
Yeah, it's when we go crazy when you start drinking water. When you start just drinking water with ice, then we're boned.
You guys like this just a tad is like your favorite water.
Right, and then we'll charge a little more for the water, which is even cheaper to make than tea.
Yes. Ingredients, water, Tad.
Well, they put it in a cardboard box. That made it more expensive, right?
Yeah. You mean like the boxed water thing?
Yeah, the boxed water. It's better.
Boxed water is better. That's what the box water said, at least.
I mean, I believe it. I feel like that's just become the truth for me. Just like that time one of my friends told me that her friend told her that if you wash your body while you have conditioner in your hair, which makes perfect sense, right? Because a lot of conditioners ask you to keep the conditioner in for a few minutes. So why wouldn't you go ahead and wash your body while you're waiting 60 seconds for the conditioner? Well, that's a mistake because the conditioner is going to run down your back and the conditioner is going to get your back all oily. And that's going to make back knee. Anyway, my friend who was told that and believed it for the rest of her life also told me that, and I also believed it for the rest of my life. Same thing with the boxed water. That only happens if you have long hair. Yes, I know. I'm explaining this to Joe. He doesn't know. The struggle to have long hair. I don't use conditioner anymore.
Really?
No. I use this thing that is basically an expensive shampoo plus conditioner. Like, it's the new thing. And it works really well, actually. It tames my hair. But it's just one thing you put in your hair. And it's supposed to do everything. Like, you get out of the shower and your hair is easy to brush. and it doesn't get you all frizzy, which is my problem, guys. It gets too frizzy. Well, not anymore. Winter is coming. It's getting cold. I'm starting to not want to be outside. Like, I'll go out for a few minutes at night. Something that used to give me such great pleasure just a few weeks ago. I go out and I get pissed off because it's cold. I hear Mr. Softy rattling around outside and I'm like, go away!
Yeah, like, what's his problem?
What is your problem? Like, he's trying to squeeze a few more ice pops out of the season.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
just let it go.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine next year. Yeah, it is like a cleansing conditioner, but it doesn't use the word conditioner. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Mr. Softy should be cheap. And him driving around with the music playing gives me no indication that the ice cream is cheaper, right? If I went outside and I stopped him and I went up to him and I was like, is the ice cream cheaper because it's cold? He would just say no, right? That's like definitely what would happen.
Yeah, like, what is he gonna change the sign?
No.
For like 3 days of a season?
No, what he has to do is change the song when he wants us to know it's cheaper. Right?
The song is sad now because we're not going to be refreshed. We're just going to, it's just going to give us a toothache.
Yeah, exactly. It's just bad for us.
Yeah.
It's not refreshing.
It's not as refreshing when it's cold out.
Yeah, no. It's freshing. We've already been fresh. The song is Mariah Carey. Yes,
out.
Mariah is thawing. Mariah is thawing. A good Mariah Thawsmas to you.
Yeah, I saw a funny tweet on Blue Sky, a website that I sort of use now, but Meredith's the only person who sees my tweets.
Yeah, but that's fine. I like them.
I also don't mind Meredith being the only ones who sees them. I just like posted a happy face, like it's like an image that appears in the background in a slide in Mario 64. And I was just like watching somebody play it on Twitch, and I was like, I'm gonna snip this and tweet it. And it's like, Meredith likes this. What did you even think that was? Did you know what it was from?
No, I didn't spend even 1 second thinking about where it was from. I was just like, no. Joe.
Joe.
Funny. What's Red Raccoon Mario? What's Orange Raccoon Mario? Can you shoot fire?
He's a fox. I think he's a fire fox because he has fire powers.
Cute. Wow, this is a really nerdy little enterprise here.
Yeah, somebody who's probably a fan of Mozilla Firefox, which I use.
Yeah, how is Firefox these days?
It's fine, you know, it's Firefox.
Fine Fox. Well, I vaguely remember hearing something bad about it. You know what? I gotta get out of the habit of vaguely hearing something bad about things.
Yeah, because then you actually find out, or you actually, go to see what was bad, and all you get is never-ending questions, like,
I heard it was bad.
Question mark? Like, what did he do? And it's like, oh man, you're gonna hear it. And when I tell you, you're gonna know it. And it's like 7 hours later, and you still haven't found out what the fuck they did. It's like, Firefox is bad now. What did he do?
Right, and all you're going by is that people are asking what he did.
It's an internet browser! Well, yeah, I mean, what did Firefox do? I mean, I definitely also vaguely remember seeing some gay, furry IT person on Mastodon be like, this ain't it, Chief.
Yeah.
About something about Firefox.
About something about Firefox, like Firefox, like maybe Firefox founder said something about AI that didn't sound right.
Yeah,
this
that
is
ain't
over.
It, Chief.
Yeah, this is over.
I'm going back to Google's.
I'm going back to Bing.
Yeah,
I'm going back to Microsoft. What is it even called? Microsoft Explorer?
Yeah, it's like Microsoft Edge now.
Edge, right.
Because they couldn't get anyone to use Internet Explorer, so they changed the name.
Yeah, you mean Internet Exploder?
Yeah, Internet Exploder.
Yeah.
We've been using Firefox because of how shitty Internet Explorer was. This was like before Google Chrome. Which,
yeah. Internet Exploder was like worse than Nutscrape Navigator. Opera is better than all of them. I definitely heard something bad about Opera. Wait, is Opera still functioning?
Probably. I don't know. They all probably have some way of spying on you or collecting data, and like you probably will see somebody say, "Oh, this is bad. You should be scared." And then you have someone else who's like, "No, this is just normal data collection. This is the good kind." And it's like, "Oh my god."
Right.
I want to go back to a time before I even knew about this, because now I just realized none of me knowing about this even matters. There's nothing I can do to change any of this.
No, and like chances are using Firefox is still like 50 degrees better than using any of that other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Firefox definitely had a little bit of shittiness happen. Like, I remember a time before Pocket, which was like, it's a thing that just like shows you random articles from the web, and it's like you're getting clickbaity shit served to you on just like a new tab.
Pocket comes pre-installed?
It's just like when you have a new tab.
I thought Pocket was supposed to help you save things for later. Is that what it used to do?
Maybe that is what it's for, but like whenever I guess if I don't use it, then it just gives you random shit.
Just annoys you.
It's like, yeah, I mean, it's annoying. It's like seeing any website with ads on it. It's like one weird trick, but it's always like just like a degree or two less stupid than that. It's like thought-provoking articles.
No.
It's like, I don't need thought-provoking articles.
No. Find out where they are now, and it's like a picture of Haley Joel Osment.
And Firefox would have ads on it sometimes. It's like, get credit card instead of website that you go to.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And that sucks, but other than that, I feel like there's no way it's worse than Google Chrome, which it harvests your data. It wants to know everything that you do online.
Yeah. By the way, before we started this stream, I went on Twitter to post that we were about to stream, and I saw that Twitter is changing blocking. So like if you have somebody blocked, they can still just see your timeline.
Yeah, I saw that shit. Like, it's because people are too much. They were just like clicking on, like you can like look at someone's shit even if you have them blocked. Well, now you don't even have to bother clicking to stalk someone that you're blocking.
Right.
You
It's just
go
convenient.
to their page.
Well, yeah. I mean, the tiny bit of commentary I saw was that Elon Musk is blocked by his ex-wife, so that's why he changed it.
I can't believe you went on for 5 fucking seconds to make one tweet,
and
you
got
already
all this
saw
fucking information
that Twitter is changing. Elon did it because of his ex-wife, and none of this is making me want to go back to Twitter.
Oh my god, that literally knocked my headphones off. But no, it's absolutely fucking true that I went on there to make one tweet and I got all of this fucking information.
And like, I'm thinking back to something you said like a year ago, that like you can't just be on Twitter looking at Elon did this and that, because then you'd just be staring at a pathetic man all day.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, that seems unavoidable. He's in the news too. He's on other social media.
The world's first trillionaire.
Yeah. The world's first trillionaire. He's jumping around making an X with his body in the news. And, he's on the campaign trail with Trump, so he's everywhere. He's impossible to ignore. But he's also like, the guys who are just like, the men, and I'm sorry, it's always men. The men who are like super obsessed with Elon Musk, they're always obsessed with a villain. They're always obsessed with some man who's like ruining their lives. They were obsessed with Trump for years. Like during the Trump presidency.
Oh, you mean the people who don't like Elon Musk?
Yeah, I don't know what the people who like Elon Musk are doing. I guess they're buying his cars.
They're just making money and spending it on his cars.
Yeah, exactly.
And spending money on repairing it and shit.
On fixing their broken cars. But people who were obsessed with Trump during Trump's presidency and all they did was talk about Trump, and if they made any kind of art or content for the internet, it was about Trump.
Yeah.
And they're obsessed with Elon Musk in the exact same way now. This snow mechanic is fun. And I like the little background mushrooms.
Oh yeah, this is what you can do as a Firefox.
Fun.
Ow.
And then die. You can die.
Yeah, lose it. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. The kind of guy, the very divorceable guy who has used his 20,000 Twitter following that he's amassed over the past decade and a half, making internet content to instead make really kind of just temper tantrums about some guy they don't like.
Yeah, about a guy that they just can't stop talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, a man is bad. We got it.
Yeah, we got it. A man is bad. I don't know, dude. Try I don't know. Have you ever been walking out on the street and somebody called you a slut? Because that's happened to me many times in my life. I feel like if you just if you were actually put upon by a man for a few seconds, then you wouldn't become attached to a man like he's your daddy and be mad about him forever. I don't know. There's power in learning how to disregard a man, is what I'm saying. Disregard a man who's bothering you.
Yeah.
I got called a slut in front of my son a few weeks ago. I was walking down the street, and I was talking to a friend, and I said, da-da-da-da-da, and this guy just hisses past me and gets in my face and says, "That's because you're a slut." And because my son was walking just a few feet ahead of me, I said, "Fuck you," and I kind of whispered it because I didn't want him to hear. I didn't want my son to hear it. Men don't know how to disregard men. They only know how to win or lose. Yeah, absolutely. You really gotta learn to disregard men. That man, getting back at that man was not as important to me as making sure my son didn't hear me say that. What am I gonna get back at him for? He's not my enemy. No. I don't know who this man is. Besides, I am a slut. I mean, it's just not his place to say it.
Well, it's true, but he shouldn't say it. She's a slut. We all knew she was a slut. I told her she was a slut. She didn't even fight back. Not very smart. Had nothing to say. Damn it.
I love it. It kind of gives you a feel for what the weather conditions are going to be like before you click it. I love these like no frills bargain bin blocks you're hitting. They're made of cardboard. They don't even bother printing a question mark on them.
Well, these are different kind of block. They're the kind that do that.
Yeah. Oh, right. So you don't... Can you tell which is which?
No, it's like some of them flip while others have coins and shit in them.
Gotcha. These are really fun levels. Like,
yeah, this one is you have to get the coins. Gotta get the bonus.
Oh man, you can bat away the fire. That's cool.
Yeah, well, you know, I kind of wanted to skip past the tutorial just so I could get to the game quicker, but it shows how all this stuff works before you start.
Oh, okay. So this is really like a bootleg game with design in mind.
Oh yeah, they like made a whole game.
Amazing.
Yeah, I love that.
How well known are these games?
I have no idea. I knew about them because I forget. It was 15 years ago. I don't know how I knew about them.
Just like in like the Mario modding communities?
Yeah, like I guess there's a couple mods that must be so good that their reputation precedes them, and like
cool.
I just knew about them without having to like talk to someone about them.
Right.
There's also something called Golden Yoshi, which is like kind of like the Yoshi's Island of this.
Uh-huh.
That like they went nuts designing new levels, and there's like
it's
two.
It's the same people.
No, it's I was just comparing it because it's similar.
Gotcha.
It's like it actually feels like a real game.
I see. I'm just imagining like a website called like mariosmods.com, and it's like the layout is like a bunch of gray boxes, and like the grays are like gradients into white. And then, like, in the corner, there's, like, a picture of 3D Mario with his arms crossed. It's from, like, 1997.
Maybe, yeah.
mariosmods.com.
It's just made by Mario. Well, I don't think I saw, when I turned this on, I don't think I saw a name or a date. I don't know if anyone is taking credit for these.
It's the ATV says, Joe found this game at a garage sale 10 years ago and it had a sticker on it that said, "Don't play." How's everyone doing tonight? How's everyone in the chat?
Good.
Good. Is anybody's house flooded? Is anybody floating on a table right now while looking at Twitch? We're doing okay. I'm doing okay. Let's see. What's new? Whatever is new. I've been feeling good this week. For two reasons. One is my work is coming along nicely. I did a story playthrough of my game yesterday. I started it yesterday, like last night, and it's one of those things where like you got to play through the entire thing at once because if I start working on the game the next day, I'll ruin my save file. It's like a very, very finicky game engine like that. So I had to do it all in one shot, which is why I haven't done it yet. And I started last night, and I thought I would finish it, like just sitting down after dinner. I thought I would finish it, and I actually went pretty late with it, and then I finished it this morning. it was very, very long. And part of that was fixing bugs, and part of that was occasionally stopping to read something when I was either like, I want to make sure this looks good, or just me being like, oh, I like this part. But I tried to hurry it along. I tried to do that very little. And even if I hadn't, it still would have taken me hours to get through the story of this game. And that is without a couple of the gameplay features fully finished. So I've discovered that my game is going to take many hours to play. Even fast, it takes hours to play. So if you're playing it fully engaged in the story and reading, you're going to be playing the game for a few weeks, which makes me really happy. I just love the idea that people are going to play the game like one chapter a night and, you know, just sit with it for like an hour to 90 minutes and then, you know, do that for like 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. That would be awesome. I feel like, you know, I would like it. Yes, creator speed runs own game. Yeah, no, I mean, money's worth, sure. People are definitely putting it in those terms, and I want them to. I am going to charge more for this game than I did for the first game. Although if you already did the Kickstarter, it doesn't matter. But I more than that, I think that from an emotional standpoint, I like the idea that people are going to play through the game slower, because it means they're going to kind of live with it the way you might live with a novel or a mini series or something like that. I feel like that sort of slow engagement where you absorb a little bit of the story and then you go to bed and you go on with your life and then you have a little bit more. I think that's just absolutely perfect for what I'm trying to say. And I'm very happy to, you know, in these early simulations of what gameplay will be like, see that it seems like it's going to be something like that. Yeah, no, I know people are going to binge it too. I know that'll happen, and that's fine. I know that people, well, all right, if I'm being honest, my ideal way that people consume this would be that they, for the first half of the game, they play like a chapter a night and they're like, this is fun. And then at a certain point they get so hooked that they scream through it. That would be my ideal.
Right.
So a little column A, a little column B.
Yeah, although you can't decide how people play it.
No.
You can't decide how people interact with it or what they do after that.
No, absolutely not.
They might only want the boobs, like Gremlin.
They might only want the boobs.
The boobs.
Right, you're right. The gremlin who came for the boobs.
He was here for the boobs.
He came for 1,000 pages of octopus pie, and he was just looking for boobs.
Yes.
He probably found 13 boobs total.
Not even an even number.
No. But you know what? He still got what he wanted. Gremlin was happy.
and yeah, like depending on the game, you know, like maybe Dead or Alive beach volleyball. Some people come exclusively for the boobs.
It's true.
Give me the boobs.
Well, I hope I can make Gremlin happy with this game.
Well, I like the idea that I'm fucked.
No.
I like the idea that people will be playing it a little bit slower. That reminds me of what Itoy was saying about Mother 3. Back in the day, it was supposed to be a console game, but then it got canceled and it was being remade for the Game Boy Advance. And Game Boy Advance game is not something you want to be glued to for the whole day.
No.
So they changed it a little bit so that there are save points everywhere, and you could just like, you know, play a little bit, fight a boss, talk to a frog, which is a save point, and then stop playing. You can put the Game Boy Advance in sleep mode and, just like play it for 5 minutes at a time. And, that differed from like the other game he made, like for the SNES, where I guess it's maybe a little longer of a game. Maybe you're more supposed to binge it. But this way, I feel like, I hadn't even thought about that. You get to actually live with the game longer.
Yeah.
The less you play it.
Yeah, the less you play it. Where like every time you pick it up, you take something away from it, and then you return to your life, and you find, if it's a good game, you find that you're thinking about it. And, like you're encountering things in the world that make you think about the game, or you're thinking about the game while you're going about your daily life, and it gives you like a different perspective on it.
Yeah.
And that, that to me is what every great book I've ever read does. And, that's the kind of thing I'd like to make. This thing that people go about their lives with this game as their companion for a little while.
Yeah.
It's to me that's just such a lovely thought. I was talking to my editor, and we were like joking about all the ways that people would play this that's like not at all like I'm describing. And one of them was like, there'll be a guy who just wants the gameplay aspect of this game and doesn't read any words. I think about that too. Like, I'm like that with games. I like don't care what I'm supposed to do even. I just play. And if I get lost or confused, I'm like, what the fuck? The game wasn't fun. Yeah. The game's not fun, and you should have read everything. Yeah, I mean, I tried to
missed out on important lore.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely like, this game definitely tells you what you're supposed to be doing more than the previous game, where I was just like hanging people out to dry if they didn't know what to do.
But that's every first adventure game, isn't it?
I think so. I mean, I don't know. I'm not being too hard on myself about it. I feel like I did everything wrong and people still liked it. I did everything wrong and they loved me.
Yeah, you're like Max Bialy stock.
Yeah. Oh, Anna Karenina. So good. So good. Yeah, I wanna sit with a Russian epic. It's getting cold. It's getting cold. It's epic time. Actually, I'm not done with that one. Maybe I'll go back. I'm probably halfway through that.
What do you think? Should I do a little Banjo-Kazooie next?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Why? So the other thing I'm happy about this week is we've been my husband and I have been taking my son out every night for a little bike practice. It took him 2 months and he's got it now. He can ride a 2-wheel bike now. We didn't do any training wheels. He resisted for a very long time. He's a stubborn little man who likes when things are easy, and he doesn't like a challenge. But we took him out with the pedals removed, and just had him balance. And he got really into that after like a couple of tries. And we let him do that until he was totally balanced. And then we put the pedals on, and he got it in 2 months. And he's better than I was, because I learned with training wheels. Did you learn with training wheels?
Yeah.
That was the standard way in the 90s. You ride around with these terrible training wheels, and then you take them off, and then you fall 100 times.
Yeah.
He never falls. He's got it. He learned how to catch himself, and he learned how to balance before he rode with the pedals. It's so brilliant. Amazing, you know? Like, when we were kids cats lived to be 13. Now they live to like 18, right? Right? Everyone agrees the lifespan of cats has gone up? And kids don't fall off their bikes like they used to. Now they ride pretty easily.
I don't know about that. I'm sure plenty of kids fall off of their bikes.
Yeah, no. But I think the balance method is so much better.
Well, yeah, I remember, like, thinking, like, oh, this is so fun, and then the training wheels came off. It's like, oh, this sucks. I never want to learn. It's like, when you fall off a horse, you gotta get back on. It's like, no, I don't.
If you fall off a horse, like, fuck that. I'm never riding a horse again.
It's like, like, what century was it when the people said that?
When they had to get back on a horse.
Yeah, like, you have to get back on. I can imagine maybe 100, 200 years ago.
Right, when you had no choice. Well, the thing is, like, if you crash your car, you gotta ride in cars again. That's still true. I mean, that's the new version. You know, when you rode a horse, if you were drunk, the horse would still get you home.
Unless the horse was drunk. Then you have to worry about that.
Are you talking about The Left Hand of Darkness? That's a great winter read. That's great. As it gets cold, grab a copy of The Left Hand of Darkness and pig out like the little piggy that you are. That's a delicious book. It's about this foreign dignitary wandering across a winter planet, the coldest place you've ever seen. So cold. And he's traveling with somebody from that planet. And the entire planet is filled with androgynous people who all present as male until they go through, what is it called? Chemering? Chemering, I believe. They go through this period where it's like they're in heat and they turn into a beautiful woman during that time. Like they present with female features when they're chemering. It's so great. It's so great. Just read it. Just fucking read it. I don't know why I'm explaining it to you. Just read the book.
Na 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 na. Meredith explains it all. Na 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 na.
Hey, cool. That's me reading the book.
That's you, like, licking and turning the page. Hey, cool. Na 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 na. Ticka 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 na 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 na. All right, all right.
Fergberg. I can't believe everyone was just okay with Clarissa's teenage boyfriend climbing through her window every day.
Well, that's why he did it, because people weren't okay with it.
Right. He wasn't supposed to be there.
Maybe not even Clarissa. She was like, oh, hey, Sam. Does that seem like she's really excited to see him?
Oh, hey, Sam. Right. Clarissa doesn't know how to say no yet. We need to go back and relitigate this.
Yes.
No. I'm sure.
Is Sam bad, actually? Is Sam actually bad for Clarissa? Is she still with him?
I think there might have also been a bit of an age gap going on there. Sam might have been 1 grade up from Clarissa. How do we feel about that, guys?
Unforgivable. Truly unforgivable.
No, I think Clarissa was like kind of bored with Sam, honestly. She was like, oh, hey, Sam. She doesn't care that there's a boy climbing into her bedroom. Like the rest of us wouldn't love that.
Well, I mean, maybe the first time he did it, it was cool.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm sure it was
like
the best day of her life.
Still there, though.
I'm sure there was an episode where Clarissa was mad and she pushed the ladder off, maybe with Sam on it. Right? Whoa, whoa, whoa! Yeah. Sam had right, you're right. The first time Sam climbed through her window was the one time that he had a chance to be her boyfriend.
And he kept trying to recreate that.
Yeah, but the fact is that dude is on the ladder and he's never getting back up to the top rung again.
Yeah, the audio is like really delayed for some reason. Do you think is that on the stream too, or is it just for us?
I don't know. That's a good question, because I'm not sure if we're hearing the audio output to the game. I think the audio might be slightly delayed on the stream too, but it's usually not like super noticeable.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not the one watching. You guys can tell me. It's pretty delayed, I see. Is everybody okay with that? I don't know. This tech setup is not getting much better, I don't think.
And everyone's just okay with it?
God, this game's so fucking funny. Like when you hit that ant and it just blows apart. How funny is that? And like the way those oranges get thrown is so funny.
Yeah, there's like an evil hand that's like kind of scary, but then when you kill it, it just like explodes into like bones with flesh still on them.
So funny. Fanny.
It's funny. When you make another dog of wisdom, it was funny.
You're so freaking funny. You're so freaking funny, Joe. When you gonna make another dog?
Yeah, I feel like the conversation about me is gonna shift the more people can get something out of it for themselves. Like if I start making plush toys, for instance, they'd be like, "Oh, I like Joe now. Didn't he do something bad? No, he's nice now.
He's nice now. We like him.
We like him because we can have something."
Yeah, that's right. If they can has a cheeseburger, they'll be happy.
Hamburguita. Well, I don't know. I thought that like
Joe did a Dog of Wisdom Funko Pop. He's nice now.
Well, I thought that, going back to making videos, which is what people really said they wanted out of me, would cause them to, stop talking the shit. But I think it turns out they just wanted to be able to talk shit and have me make them videos.
Oh, so you're giving the people what they want.
Yes, they're getting everything out of this.
Hamburguita.
Hamburguita.
You're giving them their cake and letting them eat it too.
Yes, I'm giving them 2 cakes, like that meme that I created. That I sometimes talk about having created it and other times don't, because I sort of forget if I created it or not. No, I swear I know I made it. It's just I don't have the proof. Like I don't have the original post.
I've never created a meme. Have I?
I mean, I've seen people posting, it's not a meme, but it should be, because it's funny out of context. Like the Octopus Pie comic where the random liberal guy just screams something about investment bankers and then escapes in a hot air balloon.
Yeah, that one gets posted a lot.
Yeah.
I don't get around enough to know. I've seen babies get in for free posted a lot. I've seen what's the other one? The other one that they post. What do they post? They take a few things out of context. But I've always kind of strived in my work to make things context based. Like I want to tell jokes and stories with a big payoff. So it doesn't lend itself well to memery.
No, with a meme, it has no context. People make their own context. So you don't really have to do much of anything if that's all you're trying to do, right? You just need to make a vague statement, which sucks.
Yes. Yeah, well, it's just not what I seek to do with my work. Even babies get in for free. The joke is that Eve's not funny and Hannah's not laughing. And, but I guess it's generic enough that, it reminds you of being fanny with your friends.
What was the joke again?
Oh, just Hannah's trying to figure out what to do with her day. And Eve says, you should go to the zoo. I hear babies get in for free. And then the subway door closes on her. And Hannah doesn't, like, the drawing of Hannah doesn't change at all.
Yeah, that is funny. Yeah, well, I guess even if it is out of context, it's still a good comic that shows what the characters are about. So it's not like you made a vague comic where people can say, haha, this reminds me of me. This is me and my bestie.
Me.
Well, like, it's good because it's like people, even if people only know the characters from this, they've been able to see what they are like. They've been able to get a true picture of what they are.
That's true. If they ever see the comic, they won't be disappointed by how it differs from that.
Right. Well, yeah, people call Dog of Wisdom a meme. Like, they just call that a meme.
It's just a meme because it's popular. It's a meme.
That's like saying that Never Gonna Give You Up is a meme and not a song. Like, isn't it a song? It's like, oh, I love that meme. I listened to that meme on the radio.
I think it was Anthony Clark that made a comic that was like, there's like one character saying to another, look at this, I made this. And they're like, ha ha ha, and then they're holding it and they're like, I made this.
Yeah.
Like, and that comic is also a meme that, I mean, I guess he kind of expected that would happen.
Yeah, I mean, that is interesting when, like, you give something to someone and then it becomes a part of them to the point where they act like it's theirs.
Yeah, they made it up. Because it, like, it's like a simulation that they lived in for a little while, right? So they feel that, like, it cannot be disconnected from their own experience engaging with it.
Yeah.
Which is like a great thing, you know, like you know, there is definitely art that I feel that way about, even though I took absolutely no hand in creating it. I feel like the way in which I engaged with it is unique to me and part of what's great about it. There's nothing wrong with that, but, like, you have to, like, be aware of, you know, what that means, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, like, if you... I guess the comic is vague enough that you can put your own meaning to it. Like, how much does the person actually believe they made it? Do they just think, like, I can steal this video, freeboot it, and put it on my Instagram and run ads off of it? Like, are they doing that? Or are they just, like, the Dog of Wisdom fan guy who their avatar is Dog of Wisdom and it's them because they love it so much?
Right. It's that, well, I think it's just that nobody made it. I think it's just that nobody made it.
They don't think of it as having a creator. And then when they see the creator is, like, schizophrenic, they're, like, mad at him.
Right. They don't want any other information, which is, like, also fine. They shouldn't have access to that information. Like the fact that we know so much about the creators of the art that we look at, that we consume is a real problem. Like, it's become a real problem because, like, there's nothing more pure than simply enjoying something on the terms that it was intended to be enjoyed.
Well, you know, you look at, like, any popular cartoon and under the title is created by, you know, Pendleton Ward or Jonan Vasquez. These guys we know is, like, the guy who, if the show didn't have the guy, it wouldn't even be the show.
Yes.
Because of how he draws is, like, so specific to the show's sense of humor and all of that.
Right.
So, like, the person becomes a big part of the marketing.
Yes.
And, like, the you know, the non-human parts of this cartoon, where you're actually in it especially if you're like constantly interacting with fans in a way that is very much to promote the show, you're dehumanized by a lot of those fans because they see you as an object, like the show is an object.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, but then like also like talking about the show is part of your job. Like you are the face of the show.
Yeah. You're the president.
The president of show.
Yeah, the president of show. And if anything goes wrong, you're gonna be the one giving the apology.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry for this thing that was out of my control, but I have to act like it was because I'm the creator.
Yeah. This was a mistake. This was a mistake. I mean, you know, I'm conflicted because I do, you know, subscribe to auteur theory when it comes to like, you know, the media that I enjoy most. Like, you know, I think like you make great art by putting a singular, like by giving a singular voice a platform in any medium. Like the greatest movies are the brainchild of one person. And there's a lot of talented people working on it with them, but those are people that one person trusts to correctly stay true to the intention of the piece. You gotta have one person. I really do think so.
Yeah, I mean, like, what if Pendleton Ward just gave Adventure Time to some slut who would turn it into something completely different?
I mean, he's not involved in it anymore. They are making it now without him.
No, I was talking about you.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, like, no, sincerely, I had a point. Like, there are people who are not him, and, you know, I suppose he has a hand in deciding who those people are, but like,
he probably once did. I don't know that he does anymore.
It's like, there are plenty of cartoon characters that are interpreted by someone who's not the creator, and that person has their own idea about it, but it still stands somehow, still holds up. Like Bugs Bunny was not just one director.
That's true. That is true. I mean, I suppose I don't think that's the only way to make great work. I just think that the conception of these things, what am I saying? No, you're absolutely right. There are many times where a very good brain trust of artists created something amazing together. You know, collaborated beautifully or worked parallel to one another and made excellent things.
Yeah, it seems like they worked parallel because they didn't really agree on everything. But like, how many people are watching those cartoons and thinking, wow, that sure was inconsistent with that other director's cartoon?
Well, people love that about it, right? Like, everybody's got their favorite Bugs Bunny directors.
Yeah, that's true. I think that they all have their strengths and weaknesses, and they bring something new to the table.
Yeah, and each of them invented something that you love.
Yeah.
Right? Like even the worst of them. Well, all right. There are a few exceptions to this. When you get down to the mid-century Looney Tunes, everything goes to shit.
Right.
But there was a core group of directors who all had great value.
Well, yeah, and like even in like What's Opera Doc is like kind of a late era one. And
yeah.
It's very aesthetically different from some of the classics, but still is a really good one.
Yeah, no, it's excellent. I mean, we've talked about this, that like I hate classifying What's Opera Doc as like the best Looney Tune because it's kind of a look back. Right? It's
the 50s. It's like the late 50s, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And it's a tribute. It's a tribute to Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd. It's not the groundwork of those great jokes, right?
Right. It only works as like meta. It's outside of the tried and true formula that it's like kind of referencing.
Exactly. So it is a masterpiece, but I don't think it's fair to compare it to those cartoons.
Yeah, it's sort of like the end of the book. Like the last page is still part of the book, but it's the last page.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not going to show that to my son for a long time, you know? I'm not going to be like, I'm just imagining some sick parent who's like showing their kid What's Opera Doc first.
Yeah.
This is the best one.
Well, you know, me and Danielle loved Earthbound, and we would joke a lot about like one day becoming insufferable Earthbound parents that tortured our kid by forcing them to play Earthbound. and like completely missing out on it because we tried to get them to react at
we
the
made
right
it a
parts.
chore for them. Yeah.
Something like that. Like we tried to force them to enjoy it the same way we did.
Yeah.
And ended up losing out on it.
No. You gotta like start your kid.
Sorry.
You gotta start your kid with like some earlier Bugs Bunnies, right? I showed my kid Baseball Bugs. That was the first Bugs Bunny cartoon I showed him.
So fucking good. That's
So
still
good.
one of the best ones.
And yeah, it's really, really good, but it's like kind of like what mid-era Chuck Jones, right?
That's Frizz Freeling.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, Gas House Gorillas are a bunch of doughy players.
He's eating a hot dog. He's eating a carrot and a hot dog bun.
Yeah, I can beat them all by myself.
Bam, a homer. Bam, another homer. And the guy picks him up. The guy lifts him up out of the ground and says, "Oh yeah, so you think you can beat us?" And he blows the blackest plume of smoke in Bugs' face. It's so funny. And like he blows it so fast and starts hitting that cigar again and talking a second later. Oh my god, it's so funny.
Yeah, I love the sound effect they use. It's like,
And they're playing the Teetotalers, which is like this team of 90-year-old men barely alive.
That is so funny. Like, you know, just like growing up in New York and like feeling like that's like the Yankees looking at that.
Yeah.
The Gas House Gorillas. They're just like the strongest, most invincible players.
Yeah.
That like they're just like conga lining around the diamond.
Points. Oh my god.
Da, da, da. Wait, how's the music go? It's just like.
I don't remember.
It's like,
yeah, the points are just going up to the beat. Oh my god.
And yeah, this is like a 90-year-old man.
I'm only 93 and a half years old. And then Bugs has so many great roles in that, and they're all like, you know, they're all kind of just like separate little gags. Like Bugs is the catcher, and he's like, yeah, right on down the old alley. Oh, come on, boy, give it to me, boy. And he's just getting plowed by the ball and like falling like 30 feet back every time he gets hit by it. And he's like, that's the old pepper. That's the sauce. Give it to me, boy. And he just throws it back in. Oh my god, I love the part of the show where we just talk about baseball bugs.
Well, yeah, like that's an A+. That's like one of the best ones. And it's also like one of the, I guess, the safest. Like you don't like
Nothing
with
scary.
What's Opera Doc. You don't need to understand why this is so funny. Like you don't have to have Baba Booey over your shoulder being like, "Oh yeah, this is funny in a meta context, both," and having like 5-year-old Howard Stern being like, "What the fuck is this guy talking about?"
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey. Gary. He's buying these ridiculous cells. It's like, that's what they call him that! Because they sell him to Gary!
Oh my god, what a freak. Gary, this weirdo buying animation cells.
Yeah, and he's not doing his job. He's just buying these cells. He's just spending all the hard. Like, Howard thinks that the money Gary earns is his because he gave it to him. So he's like criticizing the way he spends it.
Right, so he's like a small business owner.
But like he's right to make fun of Gary because Gary would spend his money on not just like animation cells that are worth nothing, but those like fake animation cells from like 2000.
Oh my god, I was just thinking about that. The Warner Brothers store, right?
Yeah.
So you'd go to the mall in the year 2000 and there would be a store that was selling nothing but fake animation cells. It would just be like what did they call them? Ceracells? And it would just be like a drawing of a late, like it would be a late era Chuck Jones drawing that wasn't actually in a cartoon.
Off model from anything.
Off model. It swings way too hard into that late Chuck Jones style of like the kind of feminine eyelashes and like the wispy little hands and stuff. and you've just never seen it in a cartoon, but it's supposed to look like it's from a cartoon, and it's $300.
Yeah. It's really just a print that's signed, right?
Yeah, but it's not actually signed by him.
It's not.
No, it might be.
What you were paying for.
It might be. In those days, I don't know if they're still doing this. They also had like ink that had their blood in it.
Oh man.
Right? Like they put a little of their DNA in the ink.
Weird.
What are you gonna test it? You know, light it on fire or whatever you have to do.
It's like the Thing. You have to see if Chuck Jones is the Thing.
Oh man. Oh man. You remember the part where the gas house gorilla like cuts down that giant tree and turns it into a baseball bat, and he's like swinging it, and it's so long that it just goes right into the foreground of the camera.
Yeah, that's a great drawing. Yeah, there's so many good gags in that one. Like, the ending is also really funny where he hits it and like Bugs takes a taxi.
Yes, very New York.
And like he goes up an elevator on a skyscraper just to get high enough to catch the baseball. And then after he gets it, the umpire's like, "You're out." And like the
umpire's just up there too.
Yeah, like he climbs the building and the gas house gorilla's like, "What do you mean out?" And the Statue of Liberty is like, "That's what he said. You heard the man. That's what he said." He says.
It's so fucking great. It's so great. Like that is another thing about Looney Tunes that I feel like it's a lost art of just like time to end the cartoon. like the Three Stooges were great at this, where it would just be like, there would just be a gag where it's like, this is the end. We're at the end now.
Yeah, they just like, it's just here we go again, and they run away. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, like you could possibly keep it going.
Yes.
But we all have places to be.
Right, there's something else is playing after this cartoon. We gotta move on. But like, here you go. Here's the Statue of Liberty acting like a Karen.
You heard the man, that's what he said. And then Bugs is also like starts doing that.
Also doing it, yes. And that's that. I love it. Oh.
Those cartoons were so good. Like, Donald Duck is, I love Donald Duck. But when those cartoons end, it's always a shock to me. Like, oh wow, all right. So like, bye. At least with that Bugs Bunny gag, it's like, you can tell the cartoon's winding down.
Right.
Donald Duck is just like, you think it's starting to pick up again, and then it's over.
Right, like in a Bugs Bunny cartoon, somebody starts crying or like has a breakdown. Like, and then Bugs is like, I'll be a good sport. I'll give you one last shot at me. And then, that's what it'll end after that goes horribly wrong too.
Yeah.
like his pursuer will just start crying that he can't kill Bugs, and Bugs feels bad.
Ah, don't worry, Doc. Here, you can arrest me. And like he takes him to execute him. Really? You mean it? No Twix? Nah, no tricks. And he really meant it.
He really means it. He felt bad.
Yeah, like that's also, he does that in the very first Bugs Bunny cartoon, where he's like, I'm a failure as a hunter. He's like, all right, Doc, why don't I let you take one good shot at me? Yeah. And like he actually lets him shoot, and he just misses because he sucks. But Bugs acts like he's dying, and that was the first time they do what would be a gag they repeat hundreds of times.
Yes.
Where he's like, goodbye, pal.
Yeah, and Elmer feels bad. Right. And that's the opera. Yeah, exactly. That's the tragedy of the opera.
Yeah, that's the formula for the rest of time.
I mean, they kind of like Clampett has his version of that too, because he has a cartoon where they're old and they're still doing that. like Elmer kills him when he's old. And
that one is so good, where he's like saying goodbye, and then he like switches him and like puts him in the grave.
Elmer's crying, and Bugs like lowers him into the grave.
That's another one where they're like singing while crying.
Yes. Everybody's gotta go, Doc. No tears now, Doc. No tears.
Oh my god!
Right.
Just into this cat.
Right, and then obviously there's the one where they're like, fuck Fantasia, and they're making fun of Fantasia, and Bugs is like dead on the ground with his hands in his lap on his chest with like a little flower coming through, and they're crying like
I love that like not only did Walt Disney lose like $1 billion, but they made fun of him.
They made fun of him in a 6-minute cartoon, and which is also a masterpiece. Like a cartoon that refuses to make anything beautiful for even a second. Like at one point there's like this silhouette of a vulture, and then you see him and it's the ugliest thing you've ever seen. Bugs is laying there with his hands folded, covering a bra. They like reveal his bra and he screams.
And like the framing device has Elmer Fudd just like having his like pads fall down and his like thing on his,
he looks disgusting.
Smacking him in the face.
Right. His silhouette shows up like to the stage, and it's like the worst Elmer has ever looked. He's got a 5 o'clock shadow. Both of his cuffs are undone, and his pants are falling down, and he keeps tucking his little tuxedo thing into his pants, and they keep falling down.
That's definitely Bob Clampett. Like, that's a Bob Clampett thing. Having, like, Bugs use a giant magnet on the the guy looking for the Lone Stranger, Red Hot Rider, and, like, all of his clothes just fall off. Yeah. And, like, he, like, tear off in the most humiliating way.
Yeah, it's, like, really grotesque the way it all comes off. It's like playing da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and it falls off, and then he's just got, like, a little leaf, like a fucking Greek sculpture. He's just got a little leaf on his dick.
There's another one where like Daffy Duck is stripping Elmer, and like he strips him down to his underwear, and he's just like wearing all of his clothes, like screaming at him. He's like, what have I got, huh? A bulletproof vest, I suppose. And like, you know, the only thing he leaves is his hat.
Oh my god.
Which he smacks down on his head. That was also Bob Clampett, right? Or no, maybe that was Chuck Jones, because it's got like that winsome dog that's just like,
oh yeah.
Hey!
Yes. Chuck Jones loves his winsome characters.
Yeah, like sad little dogs.
Oh, man.
Like Larimore. Or no, he's like, that's not even his name.
Are you talking about the one where he's boxing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's great. Where Daffy's so cute in that cartoon.
I love that one, yeah.
He's like that is like perfect Daffy that nobody ever hits again. Where Daffy is Looney Toony and a bad like a bad little boy and he's
got an attitude.
He's got an attitude, exactly. Exactly. He's not totally cuckoo. He's a little pissed off.
He just hears that Elmer thinks of himself as a sportsman, and his brain breaks.
Yeah.
He's just like, sportsman, huh? Ha! Sportsman! Ha!
Oh, man.
He's like, you don't know the meaning of the word sportsmanship, my friend.
Right.
What do you know?
And in that one, he has like a bulletproof vest on.
Like with your hunting knife and your hunting coat and your hunting dog and your elephant gun. What have I got? A bulletproof vest, I suppose. I'm not getting there. And then he like, you know, he just like hisses at him until he hisses him into a ring that's just there in the middle of the
And there's
like,
already a crowd there waiting to watch them fight.
Ducks.
Yeah, they're all ducks. Oh my god, it's so good.
Oh man, yeah.
There's another one. There's another one that's also kind of in that vein. The one where Daffy is running away from the little man from the draft board.
That was also Bob Clampett. Like, I'm just thinking in terms of character designs.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like a Bob Clampett guy.
Oh yeah, right. Like some little guy that Daffy could just pound into the ground and he wouldn't care at all.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Some bureaucrat who just can't be hurt.
Yeah. He's like the whole cartoon. He's like destroying the little man from the draft board. He like slams a door in his face and like blows him up and mails him to the moon, and like he keeps coming back. And he just like thinks like, finally I got rid of that little man from the draft board. And he just shows up again like droopy, and he's like, I wouldn't say that.
But we never see Daffy go to war.
Actually, they do an episode where he goes to war, and he takes a giant hammer and hits Hitler over the head with it.
Okay, so they followed that idea up that Daffy got drafted.
I guess so, because, yeah, like, they were doing a ton of war-related cartoons.
Right. Oh, man, and then Clampett obviously did the best war cartoon of all. The Gremlins from the Kremlin.
From the Kremlin, yeah.
This is like, I feel like we've had this exact conversation on Thingus many, many times. The chat has been silent for 30 minutes.
They can hold their tongues.
Well, I mean, they know we're spitting truth here. We're talking about the greatest cartoons ever made.
Well, yeah, like these were the cartoons that were like, you know, they'd just invented cartoons like 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah, brand
and
new.
now they're really good at it to the point where like we don't even know how to get that good anymore.
No, it's absolutely gone. Like nobody inherited that gift.
No.
They made it up. They invented it, and then they died.
Yeah,
It's gone.
It also it left them. You know, Chuck Jones was very good, but he couldn't do that for the rest of his life.
No.
You know, as a person who's now I've made NFTs, I feel like I'm starting to turn into something like that. I'm selling my fucking DNA or whatever Chuck Jones did. But like, I support that. It's whatever. You can't keep making cartoons. You gotta keep selling shit from your old ones.
I mean, you know, Chuck had to cash out at some point. I don't know that is like the same as being unable to make good cartoons. That's just getting older and needing some of this work that you don't own at all, by the way,
right?
To pay off in other ways that are more passive at that point. I think, you know, I mean, Chuck Jones did make How the Grinch Stole Christmas. He made that in when did he make How the Grinch Stole Christmas?
Well, what matters is that it was the TV era, and Bugs Bunny was before TV.
Right.
So by the time Bugs Bunny was on TV, it was in Kool-Aid commercials.
Right.
And yeah, like there were still a couple of really great moments, but it was because of TV and the like cheapness that came with it. That was probably, the final nail for Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Chuck Jones was able to make the Grinch in that world, but not a whole lot of great things like the Grinch exist.
No.
It was probably 1960, maybe 1970.
Yeah.
Like, 1970 was around when everybody had color TVs. So it might have been around then.
I'm sure somebody in the chat can tell us when the Grinch was made, but Chuck lived another 30 years after that.
Yeah.
And that was probably his last great. Well, he made he make the cartoon that they play at the beginning of Mrs. Doubtfire? But that's sort of an homage to himself.
He made the bear that wasn't.
I don't remember that.
I love that one.
Oh,
it's
wait,
like,
there's a song, right?
Yeah, the
1966.
bear that wasn't.
When was that?
Probably same era. It's very 60s and very Dr. Seuss inspired.
I mean, I think, animation is a bit of a young man's game because it's such intensive work.
Yeah.
And Chuck seems like he became more interested in design than animation later on in his career, and I think that's fine. And the fact that he made all those Bugs Bunny cartoons and then he made the Grinch is like should be enough for anybody. We want it all to be great, but he was very prolific and he made some stinkers later in his career. But no, I mean, I think you're right that like there was no system in place for making those great Looney Tunes cartoons after TV came into play. So even the great guys were not doing that. I mean, Bob Clampett was making Beanie and Cecil.
Yeah.
Right? Like nobody's praising that. Nobody's scream laughing for half an hour over those cartoons.
Nah, Beanie and Cecil was like, it was like similarly to how Chuck had like a weird after the fact phase. I mean, it's like the Beatles. They all had careers afterwards. They were probably very successful for a single musician, but nothing close to the greatness that was the band.
No, I mean, yeah, a lot of them, all of them except Ringo produced at least one classic album.
Yeah.
They had more in them. But they were basking in the glory of their Beatles days, of what they learned from those Beatles days.
Yeah.
And you can't recreate lightning in a bottle.
No, and like a big part of it is the medium, and that we were listening to those on records, and then they exist again later in an era of Walkmans and stuff. It's like with Chuck Jones and Bob Clampett. It's different. It's not the same kind of money. They're not sure where the money is coming from. It's not coming from the viewers like it was when they were paying like 5 cents to get in. That was big money.
There'd be like 2,000 people packing into one movie theater to see a cartoon. Well, to see a movie, but the cartoon would be before it, and everyone went to the movies. Like it was just like it was it was a national pastime. Yeah.
And now television's the national pastime. It's the 50s and the 60s, and the 70s. It's like, oh wow, it's color. 70s and 80s. It's like a new dimension. It's color.
Right, but it's still cheap looking.
Yeah, I mean, TV cartoons were probably better in the 70s than the 80s, right?
I don't know. What's an example?
Like Scooby-Doo versus like He-Man.
He-Man?
I mean, it all kind of sucks.
It all kind of sucks, yeah.
I mean, the Smurfs was something they had in the 60s or 70s, or was that the 80s?
That was the 80s, yeah.
Okay.
The Smurfs is like, it's like an adaptation of a comic, so that gave it a little bit of an edge, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all pretty piss poor in terms of quality, and it all has this air of like that'll hold the little SOBs, right?
Yeah, because with I guess with television, not only do you have easier access, you just turn it on in your PJs, but you're also spending less time waiting and traveling. You can watch more cartoons.
Right.
So the SOB's demands just increase tenfold. And it's
Right.
like, I guess we're making the cartoons shittier because they just want more. They don't care if they look like crap.
And I mean, we've also we've reached peak content. Like the thing is I barely let my kid watch TV.
Yeah.
And when I do, there's no way I'm ever going to show him all the good things that exist. And the amount of TV your kid watches varies, but at any given time, like even if they're watching YouTube videos on a phone literally all day, they're never going to watch all of it.
Yeah. Damn it! Right, I'm still in it.
So if there's more content than a human life can ever get through, then how much new do you need to actually make?
I suppose me and every other YouTuber wonders this sometimes. Do I matter? Because look at how much there is to watch, just in general.
Yeah. Well, there is, people want to watch things that are new. They don't want they want novelty. They want things that are reacting to the current moment that we're living in.
Yeah.
So there's always a demand for new, but there's too much new to ever really stop and appreciate any of it.
Yeah.
And I think lately people are looking for ways to kind of simulate a world where there are limits on these things. I don't stream music anymore. I download music and I have a collection again. And that's me sort of stubbornly simulating the limitation that I remember having that made music special to me. Because Spotify will never let me do that.
Yeah, I think that's just a natural way of listening to music. To not have someone listening to you listening to it.
Yeah. Yes, listening to you listening to it.
It's we used to have, back in the day, the Nielsen ratings to tell us how popular things are.
Right.
Now every view is counted. They're watching us watch things.
Yes.
And it's unnerving. It affects us. They think it doesn't, but it does.
Yeah, no, it absolutely does. Yeah, that's that's how you explain these phenomena where there's a video that has 1 billion views and you can't figure out why because there's nothing of substance in it.
It's like in Metal Gear Solid, there's a bad guy who scans your memory card and just I can read your mind.
And that's evil.
And tells you what games you've been playing.
Oh my god.
So, it seems you like Resident Evil. And it's whoa.
Oh, that feels like such an invasion.
Yeah, he didn't tell you he was gonna do that. He's I can read your mind, and you're yeah, sure. And then he really does. He tells you what he's been learning about you.
Oh my god.
That's just whenever you play PlayStation now.
Yeah, that's everything. That's everything. It's all learning about you all the time. That you're just letting that villain into your life.
Well, I guess I actually did because on Nintendo Switch, you can opt into that. And I was whatever. I'm not doing anything private on this. So I'll opt in. And I did.
And
I don't really play the Switch that often, so I don't know if
you don't know if it changes your experience.
I don't know if my data is actually valuable to them.
Nobody's data is really very valuable. It's just they get enough of it and they get something out of it.
I mean, you know, what are they gonna get out of seeing me in Smash Brothers in like the trophies, looking up Peach's dress to see her underwear?
They're gonna get info on like what kind of shit to sell to you next.
Yeah.
Like Peach underwear.
Peach smelling underwear.
They're gonna get you. They're gonna get you with that data.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel violated by sharing that data with them. Help us improve your experience.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like some things don't need improving. Like this game. This game's been re-released with higher resolution textures.
Why would you want that?
Better resolution text, wide screen, probably better frame rate. It looks like shit.
Everything about this game is perfect.
Yeah, I even like that when the like frame rate goes like hell.
Yeah, well, yeah, but not everyone has an N64 and like an old tube TV to play it on.
No, and if you can't play it on this type of TV, it will look kind of like shit.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I think just the resolution being normal looks good. It's just the aspect ratio is going to be stretched if you try to play this on a new TV.
Couldn't you just set it to not do that?
Yeah, you could.
Cute.
Yeah, I love this guy. Look how like
Look at the way he jumps. He's so cute.
Look how he hovers with a bite.
Cute. Oh my god, he's so adorable. I can't stand it. The physics too, like the way his little tail goes up and down.
Oh yeah, the animations are so good in this game.
God, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, like you know, they never remade this game, but I'm just like bracing myself for like, hey Joe, did you see the remake? Hey Joe, are you getting the remake?
Yeah, they're recording you right
but
now.
You liked the original, so wouldn't you like the remake? And it's like I have to explain all of that again. They haven't even announced a remake, and I'm mad.
Yeah, you're already mad.
But like, they made a remake of Crash Bandicoot.
Cute.
And the original polygonal Crash Bandicoot model was so expressive. It was so well animated.
Yeah.
It was perfect. And it did not need any improvement.
Not at all.
And they made it really boring looking. It doesn't look bad, it just looks bland.
Yeah, right. It doesn't step on any toes. It's just bland. That's so many things. That's so many things.
But
That's
like back in the day,
in.
when they were actually coming up with all these ideas, everybody was like, we gotta get edgier, edgier, everything needs to be edgier. And that's why Crash is like that. He's like,
he looks like
edgy face.
Yeah, he's like a Blink-182 mascot.
Yes, of course.
He's a rude boy.
What you might see on a CD cover. He's a shirtless guy making a face like he's just been punched in it.
Oh my god, that was beautiful to watch. That was so cute.
This guy does not go down easily. But yeah, like, very expressive game, and Rare made these games, and then after that they made Nuts and Bolts, which is a horror show aesthetically, and as a game, it doesn't look bad, it just looks nothing like Banjo. So like, they made a very different game, called it Banjo, and a lot of fans were disappointed. And I like bought an Xbox thinking I was gonna get this game and never did because it looked bad.
And then you just had an Xbox.
Yeah, I just had an Xbox, I used it to play GTA instead.
Right, okay, so it worked out for you. You found a seminal game.
Yeah.
So we got about 20 minutes or so left. Anything we want to get to? I had a topic, but I wanted to see if you had one.
Okay, well, yeah, let me see if I wrote something down. Let's see. Well, in the news, I was surprised to see that the new Mario Party, Super Mario Party Jamboree, is the highest rated Mario Party on IGN ever.
Ah.
I remember as a kid seeing all of those Mario Parties come out, and most of them were like 5 to 6. They were pretty low rated.
Low rated? Well, is it a person or is it an aggregate?
It's like it's a website. So I guess like they get a person to do it, but like the whole website stands behind the score.
Yeah, maybe they've gotten into that Nintendo payola.
You know what? I feel like that would not affect it because they've always given Nintendo games decent scores, just not the Mario Party ones.
I see. They've never liked the Mario Party, so they rated this one really high. It's new. It just came out.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's out. It might be
see.
out.
I have a little fella sleeping downstairs who
he might be interested.
Who's a fan. Yeah, might like that. Well, I suppose IGN just sold a video game, huh?
Yeah. Oh! Yeah. That I thought looked interesting. The reviewer was like talking about how, you know, this is like as if Mario Party never started sucking. It was like it just feels like a normal game. It's not trying to make a big deal out of nostalgia. It's not trying to cram as many games in as possible. It's just good.
It's just a good party game?
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's a bunch of new levels and they're all good. None of them suck. They gave the game a 9 out of 10, which is like,
wow.
You know, even the first Mario Party got like a 7.
Boy. They've never been friends with Mario Party.
No, but like they usually give Nintendo games decent enough scores. They know Nintendo is going to be mad if they don't give them enough.
Right. So
points.
What's the deal? Why is Mario Party getting such a high score?
Well, I think Nintendo actually just tried with this one. It's not trying to, you know, like I got one for the Switch a few years ago, and it was alright, but I only played it like once because I think it was like just alright. It didn't bring a whole lot new, but like this one seems like it's got a bunch of new concepts that's you know, it actually feels like a new entry and not just a rehash.
I mean, I would love to hear that they tried. I guess it's sort of a late era console a game for the console at this point. So maybe they're making their best games on it now.
Yeah, maybe.
What else is due out next year? Like there might be some real bangers next year.
This is the last one. The last time I can fight him before he bites me to death. Yeah, what did you want to talk about?
Well, I've been thinking about The Nightmare Before Christmas because I put it on for the kids a couple weeks ago. And my son's been singing the songs all through the house.
Cool.
So I was thinking about a conversation I had a long time ago, probably like 20 years ago. The last time I gave a shit about The Nightmare Before Christmas. And it was a conversation I had with somebody who thought it made no sense. And was like bad, you know, bad writing or bad filmmaking or whatever. That at the end of the movie, oh, you didn't get it.
Nah, I'm dead.
He's gonna bite you to death. Oh man, that's rough. Oh, he dies on his back. Oh, that looks real. They didn't like that at the end of the movie. There's like this romantic aspect, romantic element between Jack Skellington and Sally.
Yeah.
And they were upset because they thought that that was very shoehorned in. It didn't make any sense in the context of the story. So I was like rolling that one around in my head the other day, and I was thinking, all right, well. They could have punched up this script a little bit and had you know, Jack could have discovered love through what he learned about the spirit of Christmas. It could have been a little more driven home that Jack you know, was turned on to the idea of romantic love through Christmas. So I thought about that a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I thought, you know what? That's fucking stupid. It's perfect the way it is, because when you're a teenager, all you want is to exist totally parallel to a person you love, and then suddenly you notice each other and you're in love. And that's the reason kids at Hot Topic for 30 years have loved that movie.
I mean, okay, let me think. It's like, in the movie, Sally is trying to get Jack to notice her. She's like hiding around, trying to look at him without being noticed.
Yeah.
And then like finally, when she has like a bad feeling about this Christmas thing, he ignores her.
Yeah.
And it, results in the terrible things happening.
Yes.
I think, well, it's, for one thing, it's not bad writing for something to be tragic. I think that makes it really good that he had to have made this terrible mistake, ruined Christmas, just so Santa could be like, I talked to her.
Yeah, I talked to her and she's right. But like, does the fact that she's right make him love her?
I mean, I think he's been looking for something and he thought it was something else. And it was really possibly this. Yeah, I just don't think that's very convincing. I think that Sally being right and like not really saving the day, but like kind of helping Jack is not, it isn't really enough to convince me that Jack is like, perhaps she's the answer. Because she's not the answer. Jack is inspired by his mistake and decides that now he wants to be part of Halloween again. Yeah.
And she's actually like fairly uninvolved in that thought process. He just kind of realizes at the end that she was right.
Well, he loves Halloween again, and she is a Halloween thing, and he's looking at the Halloween things with more love because he realizes that he took Christmas from Santa, and now he's like, wait, what? Somebody tries to take Halloween from me.
Right. He's treasuring Halloween more. And what is more Halloween than a girlfriend who was Frankenstein together?
Yeah.
And who was born loving him, right? She was built to love him.
Maybe, yeah.
It kind of feels that way, right? Because she's a doll.
Yeah.
So the second she saw Jack Skellington, she loved him, right?
I don't know. It really sucks when you love someone and they don't even care.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yes.
I've been there. It sucks.
That's the teen spirit of this movie, right? That Sally was created to love, but her creator wanted her to love him, and she doesn't care about him at all.
Yeah.
And it actually doesn't even bother him. He can just make another. He makes another that looks like him and has half of his brain.
But to Jack, he probably cannot find anyone like her. There's no one more attractive than her in the whole Halloween
she's
town.
the hottest one in Halloween town. I mean, it's obvious, right?
Well, he's the hottest.
Yes, but she's the next best thing, and he can't just be with himself.
Oh my God, I have no tokens.
Oh no!
Yeah, I mean, some might say Oogie Boogie is the hottest, but
Oh, you're right. He is.
He's the most confident.
It's true. Oh my God. There's a scene in this movie where, in order to distract Oogie Boogie, Sally tears off one of her legs and kind of, pokes it out of a corner, and Oogie Boogie is like, well, hello. He slicks back his head. And he goes over and he's like, lovely, Gucci Gucci Goo. And then he pulls the leg out and realizes it's just a disembodied leg, and I don't really understand why that upsets him. What? Oh my God. Blaisdell says, My 50-year-old biological dad who exclusively dates women 20 years his junior fucking loves Nightmare Before Christmas and posts Jack X Sally art whenever he gets a new girlfriend. Oh, well, I have had my headphones knocked off my head quite a few times tonight. My bugs! My bugs! That's your dad.
Look what you've done!
My
My
bugs!
bugs!
My
Yeah, no, I don't think that movie has anything badly written about it. I
No.
think it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's maybe not the best animated movie ever made, but it is one of the most, like, is really, like, in a league of its own. There's not many like it.
No, exactly. Like as a musical, like it's a bit lacking, and it's perhaps a little vapid. And I think in its time, people didn't like that about it and kind of overlooked it for those reasons. But as you say, nothing else has ever been made like that. You know, except perhaps the other Henry Selick movies that he made afterwards. But
Yeah.
there's nothing quite like The Nightmare Before Christmas. I keep coming back to it. I mean, you know, because I have a kid, I'm coming back to it now. But I think it's very much worthy of showing to a kid. And actually, he's been asking me to watch it again. So I think we're going to watch it again soon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when he was really young, I was like, he's gonna love Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm calling it now. And like, you seemed confused by that, but I knew.
Well, yeah, it's like, what is, I mean, it plays on tropes that are introduced to a child at a very young age. And he's just about the age where he's like, oh man, let's turn all this stuff I know on its head. Let's be bad, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a naughty little version of Christmas.
He's gonna start watching Toy Story from Sid's perspective soon.
That's kind of The Nightmare Before Christmas is like Sid's version of Toy Story.
Well, yeah, I feel like Nightmare Before Christmas and Toy Story are like two sides of the same coin. They're like very, they're 3D movies that kind of are at the very top of like the greatest 3D movies.
Right, both painstakingly made in a way that nothing had ever been made before. And have not since been repeated.
No, well, you know, it's like with theatrical cartoons, we haven't lived in a world where that was even possible because television just cheapened everything. And the internet is worse. It's, even cheaper than television.
Right. So, like, what can we do now? Well, we can add more details to Woody's face. Would you like that?
No!
Would you like his voice to sound older? Man, all right. I've got a Thingus here. I've got to remember his name. I'm blanking on it now. Maybe somebody in the chat can help me. But speaking of Tom Hanks, my son has a CD of the soundtrack to That Thing You Do. And I don't know. Have you ever seen that movie, That Thing You Do?
No.
It's a movie about a band that becomes the #1 band in the world. So they have a song they sing called That Thing You Do. And it was written by, oh my God, somebody please tell me this man's name. It was written by the frontman for Fountains of Wayne, who also wrote all the music in Josie and the Pussycats. So, like, very sadly, he died during COVID. But he was the guy you get if you're making a story about the number one hit song that everyone loves, and he would write something that was convincingly that.
That's interesting. Like, he actually was able to write the hit songs that didn't exist.
Yes.
You can write something from, like, with that as the goal.
Yes, he was able to do it. Adam Schlesinger. Schlesinger. Adam Schlesinger.
It's like Schlesinger, right?
I think so. It sounds right. But anyway, I think it's
Schlesinger.
right, like Leon Schlesinger.
No more rabbits. From now on, fishing.
Well, no more Adam.
Yeah.
But if you haven't checked out either of those movies, I recommend both of them. They're both about like a pop star band that takes off, and they both have hit songs, and they rise to the top of the chart. And both times, oh my God, that's so scary.
I think he's cute. Look how cute he is.
Oh, cute.
Look how his eyes look at me.
Oh, he's made of metal?
Yeah, he's a metal shark.
Yeah.
Or I guess he's a shark, but he has a blowhole.
Oh.
He has a blowhole and gills.
Wow. Okay. He's cute.
Yeah, let's help him. He's sad.
Oh. But yeah, both of those movies have like hit songs that propel the band to the top of the charts, and they're both very convincingly hit songs.
That's cool.
So yeah.
So he actually was a great musician, just like John Lennon.
Oh yeah.
But he made music that was fake.
Yes.
Right? Like not
Absolutely.
real music.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, you could say that about like Stacy's mom too. Like Stacy's mom sounds a bit like an homage to like the Cars, you know, like it sounds a little like Just What I Needed.
Yeah.
And you know, he wears his influences on his sleeve in a lot of those songs.
Was that like later than that kind of songs?
No, I think Stacy's mom came first, and then he started writing for movies. I'm pretty sure. I don't know what year That Thing You Do came out, but I think that was the order of it. Fountains of Wayne, then the movies. But either way, just just an amazing
mom,
talent.
Yeah, both the mom and the song are great.
Absolutely. But yeah, I wish he was still with us, because I feel like we need more. I don't feel like we have anybody like that right now.
We don't have enough fake songs. Well, there are plenty of musicians like that who write like what's his name? The guy who did the music for Phineas and Ferb did a lot of that. Where like he would do like, there was like a fake band called Love Handle, and like they did songs that actually kind of sound like 80s songs.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. But yeah, like Danny Jacobs, that's it. So yeah, like I think that's a lot of fun when a musician is just like, yeah, let me dabble in this, and this genre and see if I can sincerely do it.
Yes. Yeah, no, there is a lot of fun in that.
And especially when you compose for kids' cartoons, there's a lot of that where you're just doing constant parody and homage.
Right.
That you have to learn the basics of every musical genre.
Right. It's like having a formal education in music gives you those skills.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, The Thing You Do came before Stacy's mom. Stacy's mom was later.
Josie and the Pussycats.
Oh yeah,
Josie
no.
and the Pussycats.
There's some great songs in that. How does it go? She has a song about being mean, or like it's like can you just be nice to me for like how does it go? Why it's like why can't you just be nice?
Yeah, I feel like Weird Al has he has basic skill in every musical genre just so he can do the parody of it.
Yes, absolutely. Basic skill.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing a lot of hip hop in my dog cartoons lately.
Yes, I've really been enjoying your raps, Joe.
I'm glad. Because I'm also very proud of them. And they're fake in the same sense.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You're writing fake rap songs.
But like when people are like, not bad, not gonna lie, like spitting bars for real. I take that seriously. I'm like, yeah, I know. They're good.
Right. I mean, it's just this thing where you're just kind of like silently smiling and being like, yeah, I know. I wasn't gonna say it, but I know.
Well, I think I'm primarily an artist and I'm doing comedy. So in order to make it funny, I need to be good at it. Right?
Absolutely.
I need my comedy to enhance my art, and I need the music to enhance my comedy.
Absolutely. If you don't put forth the confidence in what you're doing, then why is anybody supposed to care? Let's all since we're at the end of Thingus today, let's all promise ourselves to exert confidence in all that we do this week. Oh, he's hurt.
Yeah, he's sad. He wants me to help his teeth.
Help him.
He wants me to do some dentistry on him.
You're brushing his teeth?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just knocking his teeth out.
Knocking the bad ones out. Oh, that's what I did to my dog when she had bad teeth. But through surgery.
Yeah.
I threw the dollars at the dentist.
And you went,
yeah. That's better. Well, any closing thoughts before we call it a night here? What a fun Thingus.
Closing thoughts.
A real knock your headphones off your head Thingus.
Yeah, do we have any villains?
Villains? Who do we hate? Who did us dirty this week?
Well, I don't know if this is doing me dirty, but I feel like from what I've seen, I keep seeing iPhone 16 giveaways. I think they fucked up the iPhone 16 launch and they've done dirty the iPhone users or whatever.
I see. So the 3 guys that stood in line to buy it are probably feeling pretty ripped off this week, huh?
Although I don't know if I feel bad for them because the whole thing with the iPhone 16 was AI features.
Right.
But the AI features aren't out yet. They launched the phone without the AI.
Right. So you're only buying it. You're only buying it with the promise that eventually it'll have them. Well,
this is.
I mean, that's AI in a nutshell, right?
Yeah.
You're buying something that doesn't exist.
It's not a product. It's research. Just let the fucking government do it or some shit. You're trying to turn it into an iPhone. And if Steve Jobs was alive, he would have figured this shit out. But he's dead. And they don't know how to make the iPhone with AI in it. That's why it's not coming out.
Speaking of Steve Jobs, I've been doing a little independent study on his life. I'm not quite ready to talk about it, but I think next week I'm gonna try and be ready to do a deep dive into everything I've heard about Steve Jobs.
You want to give us a little sample? Is he a hero or a villain? So far in your opinion?
Verdict still out.
Okay.
What I do know is that he was a real self-starter of a child, and the people who I'm listening to describe it on their show about his life think he sounds much more evil than I do.
Yeah.
I actually think he sounds kind of cool as a child. So perhaps that'll give you a little bit of a taste of where I'm going to go. Whether I'm going to think Steve Jobs is good actually next week. All right, we're going to call this a night. Thanks for listening, everyone. and watching
Yeah.
and being here with your bodies. We'll see you next week. Bye.
And here's my little secret. I burned the Lion King's shirt.